Уважаемые телезрители телеканала М1 Global, мы продолжаем наш вечер. 10-й бой весовой категории до 61 килограмма. В красном углу октагона появляется боец Академии ММА Минск. Александр «Львиное сердце» Vanteev.
Action in the bantamweight division as we will have Alexander Vanteev against Alexander Zmushko. I am willing to go out on a limb and predict that Alexander will win this fight.
They're currently taking bets. Got a lot of work out of the bantamweight guys tonight. A lot of excitement. The ground stuff, the stand up.
Синий угол октагона приглашается боец клуба ЗСЕ Жлобин Александр «Гильотина» Змушко.
Alexander Zmushko, 24 years of age. He's 2-1, taking on the 26-year-old Vanteev, who is 2-2, 135-pound division. Of course, your son Henry Cejudo knows they can do about 135.
Why does everyone say he's my son? I got
look-alike.
an Instagram tag the other night. It was him. No, it was me. And they thought it was him. They're like, Henry?
That's awesome.
One of my fans jumped in and said, oh, that's Frank's father.
Dominic Cruz coming back after almost 3 years. That poor man too, again, just like one of the best fighters, turned an amazing analyst, and yet the injuries, his body has also betrayed him in many ways.
Уважаемые телезрители, встречайте в красном углу октагона
these two are looking to achieve success
кандидат
against
мастера
each other.
спорта по панкратиону,
Alexander
бронзовый
Vanteev,
призер Республики
Alexander
Беларусь по
Zmushko.
панкратиону, победитель турниров NFC 6, NFC 8, NFC 10, NFC 11. Боец Академии ММА Минск Александр «Львиное сердце» Vanteev. В синем углу октагона чемпион Кубка Республики Беларусь по панкратиону «Стальной удар». Серебряный призер чемпионата Республики Беларусь по панкратиону. Чемпион Республики Беларусь по ушу саньда. Победитель проаматорского турнира по ММА PFC 46, PFC 50. ЗСЕ Жлобин, 24 года. Александр «Гильотина» Змушко.
So round one set for 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division.
Рефери в октагоне Андрей Пивоваров.
Бойцы, 3 раунда по 5 минут. Внимательно слушаем мои команды, соблюдаем правила. Корректный и красивый бой. Приветствие. По углам.
It will be Alexander Vanteev. Vanteev in the red tape, Alexander Zmushko in the blue. Vanteev, center of the cage. Zmushko bouncing side to side. Body kick by Vanteev, but it was countered. Oh, and Vanteev now in the tie plum and the knee strikes, but then looking for the quick finish here, but
he went for it. Now he's getting blocked by having the hips pushed back, but he's certainly in a dominant position.
Zmushko pumps his head out. Oh, takedown attempt by Vanteev, but defended by Zmushko.
That's my favorite, the old head swing takedown. It all works, man. Everything works.
Until it doesn't.
Until it doesn't.
And now Zmushko putting in the work on the fence, trying to deliver knee, and now it's Vanteev turns the tables, trying to create some separation so he can land a knee strike. It's Zmushko now shouldering Vanteev back to the fence. They jockey for position here early in round one.
Zmushko's doing good cage work here, in that he slowed all the action down, got his opponent pinned on the cage. He's kind of controlling, well, he was controlling the position quite nicely.
Battle of balance. And there's the takedown.
Nice.
And Zmushko looking for a submission here, but Vanteev in good position now in the half butterfly. Full guard.
Vanteev's got a chance here to, you know, draw first blood, if you will. Use this cage to his advantage. He's got him tied up here nicely. To be a great moment to start banging that body, that head, push the head up in the cage and kind of slow down the positioning.
Oh, and using that rubber guard. Going now omoplata. Shoulder lock.
Yeah, if he can pull that heel
omoplata submission attempt here by Zmushko. Remember the late Shane Del Rosario pulled that off in a strike 4%. Now the armbar attempt. Wow, some good scrambling. The grappling on display here is nice escape.
It was a great escape. He kept running with the hold, and he was able to outrun it basically as Zmushko's position fell apart. His knees opened up. He kind of lost all the power in that structure. Vanteev's certainly a game fighter. You know, most people will stop on one of those holds and they'll wait for it to progress.
I love Zmushko's, back the guard game.
And he's back in another, now we got a triangle choke position. He should reach up and grab that arm and trap just like that. Trap the arm across his own belly.
Yeah, putting it down, the squeeze, putting the pressure.
He's definitely in position here. That's why you see that leg going over.
Mounted triangle. Wow.
I think he's going to throw a footlock in there just for good measure.
Now belly down armbar attempt.
Back to the arm. This is great positioning. And see how his legs are elongated? If those legs are pulled in, all that power would be tightened up.
The sequence. Zmushko really an aggressive submission artist. Going for a north-south now, looking for that front choke.
Yeah, he's staying on the head. Zmushko definitely has an advantage when it comes to the grappling and the fluidity of grappling. We saw a lot of movement and fluidity and striking in past fights. This is the first real high-level flow game that we've seen.
Under a minute left in the first, and it's been Alexander Zmushko's submission game that has been causing Vanteev plenty of grief, although Vanteev now has Zmushko tied up against the fence.
And the only problem with doing that much grappling, that's a lot of full body movement. It takes a lot of energy.
And it takes a lot of energy defending it as well.
Amen to that.
Under 30 seconds remaining in the first round. And Zmushko takes Vanteev back to the canvas, and now 20 seconds left. Will he attempt another submission attempt before the end of the round?
I almost feel like Vanteev gave that up. Like, nope, too much work. I'm just going to sit here. Oh, he goes for his own armbar.
Armbar. Maybe chance at a knee bar too. Nope. It's ground and pound from Zmushko. So good stuff on the ground in round one. Maybe not the most graceful exit at the end of the round. But
it's hard when you're all tied up like that to even get out of position.
Crazy game of Twister.
Yeah, it's never that great. unfortunately. But that goes back to, remember when I choked out Phil Baroni, and then I kicked him off of me, and everyone got mad at me? But it's because he was smushing
heavy
me,
on
like
you.
literally, he was heavy.
He was heavy on you.
I'm down there gasping, and he's like, you know, unconscious, laying on my chest. Like it was, like, you know, it was 180 pounds of heaviness.
Well, these are athletes who are competing in the 135-pound division. Really impressed with the submission game of Alexander Zmushko. And equally impressed by Vanteev's defense.
Yeah.
He wasn't submitted after a lot of attempts by Zmushko. And they touch gloves to begin round number 2.
Vanteev flapping out that jab hand and kind of loosening his hands up.
Goes for the body kick and it's blocked. And he's on his back again. Entry by Zmushko.
Now Zmushko's got lots of time here that he's on top. If he can pull out his own.
Oh, wait a minute. Vanteev now going for an armbar attempt. Wow, good stuff here between Vanteev and Zmushko. Just chained that canvas.
Really went for it.
And now Vanteev in round 2 is much like the last fight. First round belonged to the one fighter, the second and third,
Yeah.
or not, the ebb and flow of MMA, and great back and forth battle
Heel
here.
hook here.
Oh, wow.
Got a heel hook position. Vanteev's doing a good job rolling with it. He's been very active in rolling out of submissions. He did again.
Nice scramble. And into side control goes Zmushko.
Yeah, Zmushko needs to pin that arm down or trap that arm down, that left arm down on Vanteev and try to do some damage here.
And meanwhile, Vanteev needs to slip out. He needs to form a plan of escape and does so. Nicely done, using his hips, swiveling his hips. But still, top position for Zmushko. And now Vanteev's giving up his back and the hook is in.
You got one hook in.
Vanteev will try to backdoor escape.
Yeah, he's a little bit high. He might lose this position. He's keeping himself hooked with that right leg hook there.
But he's got the pressure on Vanteev. And now Vanteev has Zmushko against the fence in top position.
And this is where the fence can be your friend, is if you're, you know, finishing that takedown, you can drive him in there, bounce him off, crap him in.
And Vanteev now the single leg. Oh, but ends up on top with Zmushko, though, looking for that guillotine.
He's got a pretty good grip on the head, although the arm is in there. Tough to have that head and arm unless you can get your own elbow way up in the air. I don't feel like he's got Vanteev in too bad of a position, and Vanteev's going to step into the mount here in a second.
Midway point of round 2 and the fight. Scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Bantamweight action. Road to NFG 4 from Minsk, Belarus, here on Clash TV, Fubo Sports Network, and other platforms. We appreciate your involvement. We hope you're becoming familiar and becoming more active on Clash TV.
Vanteev with a leg trip right to a leg lock. Gutsy move.
Oh, Mazakazu Imanari is smiling
Turning
somewhere.
in the heel hook.
2 minutes left in the round.
If he can bridge over to his left there, he can use his legs to help take down his opponent, and then he can get deeper into this hold.
Zmushko, though, now from the top, and Vanteev wanting to tie Zmushko up, but now trying to block the ground and pound from Zmushko. And he's just firing off the left hands, and now Vanteev susceptible to the offense to the face, not really defending all that well, now controlling the posture.
Yeah, that's the problem with going for leg locks, is you're exposed in that down position. So unless you lift your knees or your hips to block, your face is right there. Armbar attempt.
Bottom armbar. And now the heel. Wow, just incredible grappling attempts. I love the risks that are being taken here by Zmushko.
This one's deep and close, near at the end of the ankle, kind of Sambo style. He's turning that knee around real good. This is where the knee bar comes next. But you got to let him go. As soon as they slip out, he's going to stay on the leg.
Now Vanteev with some shots from top position. Back and forth, Vanteev and Zmushko have gone in this battle, an entertaining bantamweight affair.
And Vanteev's almost got his leg out. He's almost got it slipped out. It's kind of keeping him there. He's not in danger of the hold anymore. Now he's just in danger in the position.
Zmushko from bottom, delivering some strikes to the head of Vanteev to omoplata. Vanteev rolling through. Zmushko now in top position. So lots of grappling on display in this bantamweight affair between Alexander Vanteev and Alexander Zmushko. Bring on round number 3. Third and final round is forthcoming. Tremendous stuff, especially on the ground. Really a lot of chances being taken and a variety of techniques.
I've really enjoyed the grappling. It's really been tit for tat, like go for a hold, counter, roll, you know. Each guy, nobody's being dominated here when it comes to grappling. Each guy is, you know, been very successful in implementing their ground game, if you will. It's made for a very enjoyable fight.
Final round is underway. Alexander Vanteev in the red tape, Alexander Zmushko in the blue tape. Very much on the table, this fight. Vanteev comes in, head down. Zmushko misses with the high kick. You almost get the feeling they're just trying to use their striking to
to get back to grappling.
The ground as Vanteev utilizing different exchanges. Oh, but use that spinning back fist to close the distance.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think he's just trying to get in range for, you know, Vanteev's trying to close this range out. Here, they're both obviously tired. And they definitely excel in the ground. Both of them have got, you know, leg trips upon each other.
Side control now for Zmushko. And here, so many options at his disposal.
Yeah, yeah. The arms are up. The arms are, you know.
Wow, easy transition to full mount. And fatigue may have played a factor there for Vanteev.
Totally.
And Vanteev in danger of giving up his back.
Yeah, these are the danger zones, Mauro. This is where you're tired. You know, you can't react as quickly. You know, some of the rolls will roll you into bad positions.
Oh, and got that body lock, the figure four, the body triangle being employed by Alexander Zmushko. And if he could flatten out Vanteev into a prostrate position, that may serve him well.
Yeah, or even just keep it for 30 seconds, because to have that locked on your gut, you know, 15, 20 minutes into a fight, that's where you want to be in wearing down your opponent. This is a fantastic position to be in, very dominant.
And Zmushko went fishing underneath the armpit for the strikes as well. We've seen that in the past. And Henderson used it very effectively against Fyodor Emelianenko.
Well, that body, just going back to that body lock, it's like a boa constrictor around your breathing area. So every time you take a breath, you know, it sucks a little bit more of life out of you. That's not how you want to, you know, be stuck in the middle of a third round. And to get that off, he needs to roll to his side like he's doing right here and basically unhook it. You can unhook it with your legs. You can unhook it with your hand. Unhooking with your hand exposes your head for a second. But either way, if you get that body lock off, it'll return your ability to move, loosen up your hips so you can turn them, and then allow you to breathe again. Rear naked choke position.
Oh, yeah, fishing for the rear naked choke is Zmushko. And with that body triangle locked in, looking to take away the oxygen from Vanteev while punishing him with these strikes. 2 minutes left in the fight.
Yeah, this is a real tough position to be in. They may stop this, but you stopped aggressively.
Well, they better not
defending.
stop it to bring it up to the feet. That's what I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
That would be the ultimate.
And this is ground and pound display from Alexander Zmushko as Vanteev locked into that body triangle. There's no escape for Vanteev right now, desperately trying to, well, there's this. It's over. What a performance by Alexander Zmushko. We saw grappling, we saw striking, we saw a 24-year-old with a bright future. Fantastic fight.
Yeah, really nice exchange of grappling. And this final position was really the position that did it, that figure four body lock, where he was unable to move and he just continued to take damage. But I think, you know, the behind the scenes, he continued to get tired and have really the air squished out of him, the life sucked out of him, and to a point where he could not actively defend himself.
Remember Ivan Siliveri versus Tony Fricklin with that body triangle submission.
Body triangle.
Дамы и господа, техническим нокаутом за 3 минуты 25 секунд третьего раунда победу одержал боец синего угла Александр Гильотина Змушко.
Trickster, and that's every time the person exhales, you squeeze it a little bit tighter. And so the ability to breathe in air just gets slower and slower. And a lot of submission attempts here. We saw leg locks, arm bars, we saw dominant position, sweep leg takedowns. Here's a setup to an omoplata with the arm across. I mean, just a wonderful display of grappling, but it really came down to one position, and that was the figure four body lock. And the inability of Vanteev to get out of that. Once he was in it, he did not go anywhere until they called it.